Let's prepare on propped beams and fixed beams. Propped and fixed beams. So why we are studying this chapter as a separate thing means here these are categorized as statically indeterminate structures. Okay. So what are the statically indeterminate structures means? We cannot find the forces or any reactions in that beams with the help of the equilibrium equations alone. Okay, so we need some extra equations which is called as compatibility equations also. So these structures only will be calling us statically indeterminate structures. Okay, so mostly fixed beams and propped beams of some similar different categories only will be coming under this statically indeterminate structures. So let us see all those structures and we'll be going to study the shear force and bending moment of those structures. Okay, so this is very important for calculation purpose in any strength of material problems which is asked in the objective questions. So when you are solving this and finding, it will take more time. So we need to memorize these formulas, that is the moment and shear force of some specific beams, so that this will help you in the exams. Okay, so just prepare your mind to study more formulas here so that it will be useful for your exams. So first, here a propped cantilever beam is given. Okay, so we know that in a fixed support there will be three reactions happening. So one is a moment and another one is a upward reaction and another one is a horizontal reaction. So this is normally happening in a fixed support and it is a propped cantilever, so a prop reaction is given at the free end. Okay, but here in beams we need not consider the horizontal equations. Okay, so for calculating the indeterminacy we need not consider this horizontal reactions because we are not going to provide any horizontal reactions in the beam, so we don't consider that. Okay, so here MA and RA is at the left end and RB is at the right end. So there are three unknown reactions here. So indeterminacy is nothing but it is the number of unknowns minus number of equilibrium equations. Okay, so normally for a beam, three equilibrium equations will be there: horizontal reaction, vertical reaction and moment. But as we are not considering this horizontal reactions, we need not consider the horizontal equilibrium equation also, so we can take it as 2 alone. Okay, here the unknown is 3 and the degree of equations, number of equations is 2, so the answer is 1, so which is the indeterminacy of this structure. Then here is another two beams. So first one is the fixed beam. So here we are having a moment at the left end and reaction at the left end, and in the right end also there is a moment and reaction. So there are 4 unknown reactions. So it is 4 minus 2 equilibrium equations. So it is 4 minus 2, which is 2. So the indeterminacy of this structure is 2. The third beam is, it is a continuous beam, or you can call it as a simply supported beam with the center propped. Okay, and 2 loads are acting. Okay, so here the number of reactions is 3 only and the equations is 2. So it is 1. So a degree of indeterminacy is 1. Okay, so these are some of the examples for the indeterminate structures. So now we'll be studying the values of those moment and shear force and at what point the point of contraflexure happens. So that everything we'll be studying for some specific important structures. So this is the first one. This is a propped cantilever with UDL. So here there is a propped cantilever completely running with UDL. So therefore here a prop reaction at RB it is there, and also here the moment will be there. Okay, so let us draw the bending moment diagram and shear force diagram. So the bending moment diagram will be like this. Okay, so here the fixed moment will be in this point and also it will be maximum in some point here. So what are those points, that is what are the lengths? So that is also very important. This also they will be asking. And what is the bending moment value? So that also they will be asking. Okay, so here at the left end the moment is WL square by 8, and at the this point, that is 3L by 8 from the right end. So this will have the maximum moment. So here it is 9WL square by 128. Okay, so this distance from this point is 3L by 8 and the distance from the right end to the point of contraflexure is 3L by 4. And then the shear force diagram. So the shear force diagram will have it 0 at this point only, that is 3L by 8, and the left end force will be 5WL by 8 and the right hand it will be 3WL by 8. Okay, so all these points are very important. the 5WL by 8 at the left end, 3WL by 8 at the right end. So this is all about shear force. And for bending moment, WL square by 8 and maximum bending moment is 9WL square by 128. And the point of contraflexure is 3L by 4. Okay, so these are the important points. The next diagram we are going to see this, a propped cantilever with central point load. Okay, so here as the central point load is there, the moment will be maximum at that point only. So definitely it will be there. And the distance of the contraflexure point from the right end is 8L by 11. Okay, and the fixed moment here, no, so this is 3WL by 16 and the maximum moment will be 5WL by 32. And from the left hand distance is 3L by 11. So either any one distance, this or this, you keep it in your mind so you can find the remaining one. Okay, and the shear force, if you see, means here only one load is acting here, so it will be cut only here only. Okay, so in the left hand it is 11W by 16 and the right hand it is 5W by 16. The third one is the simply supported beam with prop at center with UDL. So UDL is also there in a simply supported beam. So here the shear force diagram will be like this. Okay, so it will be varying like this because this will act as a separate simply supported beam and this as a separate simply supported beam. So the diagram will be like this. So here the values will be 5WL by 8 and 3WL by 8. So the distance of the point of 0 point. So where we are getting the shear force 0, no, so that point will be having 3L by 8. Okay, and then the bending moment, if you see, means here will be having maximum, here also maximum, and here also you will be having at a moment at the propped reaction, that is at the middle. So this we call it as the sagging moment, that is in the downward direction. No? So that is your sagging moment, which is equal to 9WL square by 128, and the moment at the above the line, above the beam, no, so that we call it as the hogging moment, which is equal to WL square by 8. Then the analysis of the fixed beam we are going to see now. So the first one is the fixed beam with central point load. So here the bending moment will be like this. So we have already seen this point, no, that is for the point load, the bending moment diagram will be a linear structure only, whereas in UDL only it will be of parabolic. Okay, so with that you can keep in mind the diagrams. So here it is a point load at the middle, so the bending moment diagram will be like this. The point of the contraflexure is from the left end, it is L by 4 and the bending moment is WL by 8 at the end and also at the middle. Okay, and the shear forces, it is only one load is acting, so it is equally distributed in both the sides, W by 2 and W by 2. The next is the fixed beam with UDL. So here the diagram is coming like this. So here the point of contraflexure is 0.212L. So from the left end, from right end also it's the same only. So this is very important because this structure they have asked many times. Okay, and the moment at the end, that is at both the fixed ends, it is WL square by 12, whereas at the center it is WL square by 24. So this is also very important. And here also the shear force will be, it is only W and L, no. So as it is a UDL, it is converted into load, means it is W into L. So it is equally shared in both the ends. So WL by 2 and WL by 2 in both the ends. Okay, so always remember that the point where we are getting the bending moment 0, so that point we will be calling it as a point of contraflexure. Okay, not the point where we are getting shear force 0. Okay, so remember that bending moment 0 means it's a point of contraflexure. And another thing to be remembered is where you are getting shear force 0, at the same place only you will be getting the maximum bending moment. So for any diagram you can check that the shear force where you are having 0, so you will be having straightly here. Okay, so here you will be having the maximum bending moment of that beam. Then next comes the eccentric point load. So here that is a fixed beam with a point load at any place. Okay, the first case we saw it in the middle, no, so now it is an eccentric point. So with the distance A at the left end and B at the right end. So here the bending moment diagram is like this. Similar diagram only we saw for the center place also, but like this in the middle. So it is somewhat moved to the point where the eccentric load is applied. So here the values are WAB square by L square and WA square B by L square in the left and right. And at the middle it is 2PA square B square by L cube. So the next is the shear force diagram. So here it will be deviating like this at the point of the application of the load. So the left end it is WB square by L cube into 3A plus B, and at the right end it is WA square by L cube into A plus 3B. And then the next is the couple. So couple load is applied at the middle. Okay, so that is the case here. So here when the moment is clockwise, the moment A and moment B also will be clockwise. Okay, so the moment we are applying in the middle load, the couple. So if that is clockwise means here also it will be clockwise only. If that is anti-clockwise means the moment that is created in the ends also will be anti-clockwise. So this is an important point. And here MA and MB values are given like this. So MB by L square into 2A minus B and MA by L square into 2B minus A. Okay. So here if the moment is at the center, so this is not accurately at the center. Here have distance given A and B at the right, left and right and no. If it is at center, that is if A and B are equal means the moment will be equal to M by 4 in both the ends. Okay, so you can check like this. You can equate A and B. A is equal to B like that in this formula. So when you do that, you will be getting M by 4 as the value here. And then this is the case, the next one is the UVL case. So fixed beam with UVL, which is having a more intensity at the right end. So here MA will be WL square by 30 and whereas MB will be WL square by 20. And then the sinking support, so it is nothing but a fixed beam only, but it is sinking at the right end. So with that deflection value, they have given the moments here. Okay, so it is 6 EI del by L square and 6 EI del by L square in both the ends. If A is pinned means it is 3 EI del by L square. So this we have seen in the structural analysis, that is if the one end is pinched if the one end is hinged and the farther end is fixed means only half the value will be taken over that. The carryover moment will be half. Okay, so that is only given here. So when the one end is fixed and the other end is pinned means it is 3 EI del by L square. And then the rotation of support, so this is also a simply a fixed beam. So here with respect to the deflection, that is at the middle, they have given here as 2 EI theta by L and MB it will be 4 EI theta by L. Okay, and then here it is a triangular load. Okay, so this triangular load applied in the fixed beams only. So here M will be equal to W by 96 WL square. So this is a special case, so this is also important. And the slope deflection equation is given here. So just for your reference, you'll be studying this in detail in structural analysis. So 2 EI by L into 2 theta A plus theta B, that is the slope at the left end and slope at the right end minus 3 times the deflection by L. Thank you and keep watching for the next lecture on shear center.